saw a real thriller on Thursday night. The Panthers had the last possession. Ronald Ramon's buzzer beater tops West Virginia. Will we see more of the same tonight? We'll find out. Big East basketball is next. For the stretch run in the Big East Conference regular season, Pitt Panthers at home, where they are very, very tough. They've only lost one game here this year. The opponent, the Friars of Providence, coming off a very tough loss at St. John's in their most recent effort. So it should be a good one. Let's check out the standings, the all-important standings as we head down the finish line. You can see Georgetown at the top. People predicted that. Notre Dame, critical games though for Pitt, trying to get a bye, and also for Providence trying to make the tournament in New York City. And it's a good night to be inside the Peterson Center. I'm John Sanders, along with Mike Jarvis, former Big East coach, and this is crunch time for these teams. A lot of exciting games lately.
Well, it is, and like you said, tonight's game is huge for both teams. One trying to make it to New York, the other one trying to get a bye in New York.
Let's take a look at what happened to Pitt on Thursday night. It looked like that they would let it get away from them, but at the last moment, Ronald Ramon was the hero.
Well, I tell you what, it's all about following through with the game plan at both ends, and on this particular play, you see Benjamin penetrate. West Virginia guy doesn't follow his assignment, comes over to help, and guess what? Three-pointer for the win.
That was the winning shot. A huge win for Pitt. West Virginia helped them out by missing a lot of free throws down the stretch, but that's just one of the close games. Coach, there have been a million of them this year.
Well, they have. These two teams, look at what's happening with them. I mean, you're talking about games decided by 5 or less points with Providence and Pittsburgh. One's 4-4, the other's 4-2, and that's the difference probably with them in the standings.
Well, certainly the Friars know about close games. They've been involved in their share, and the guy that is leading the way is his name is Jeff Xavier. He's a transfer who's done a great job.
Well, he has. You're talking about a guy that's, come from a lower level. He's come in here. He leads the team in scoring. He leads the team in steals. And he's got his hands full tonight, obviously.
It will be a test for the Friars of Providence. They have never won. They're 0-4 here at the Peterson Event Center. We'll have our Star Watch, the opening tip, coming up live from Pittsburgh after this. Tonight's Big East game is being brought to you by Oppenheimer Funds, the right way to invest. PNC leading the way. And by Cooper Tire. And as you can tell from the pictures outside, it's a good night to be inside the Peterson Event Center for this Big East Conference matchup between the Friars of Providence and the Panthers of Pittsburgh. There are the starters for Providence, 13-10, 4-7 in conference play. We've already talked about Xavier, Williams, McKenzie, McDermott, and Hankey are the 4 that will join him on the starting lineup. Panthers go with the hero from the West Virginia game on Thursday, Ronald Ramon, Keith Benjamin, who's played very well in the absence of Levance Field, Gilbert Brown, Sam Young, and the freshman, an outstanding one in DeJuan Blair. Tim Welsh, in his 10th season as the head coach of the Friars of Providence, he's taken his team to the NIT 3 times, twice to the NCAAs, and he has done a very good job in leading this basketball program. And Jamie Dixon, of course, he should be smiling. He wins almost every game he plays here.
I'd be smiling.
He has done a fantastic job. Former assistant here at Pittsburgh, also Northern Arizona, Hawaii, and UC Santa Barbara. Graduate of TCU, played in the CBA, also played in New Zealand. The zoo is here and the fans are here. We were a little concerned that it might be a little bit of a sparse crowd because of the bad weather outside, but they have turned out and we're just about set for the opening tip. 43rd meeting between these two teams. The Panthers have dominated the last 7, and they have won the 4 games that they have played in this building since it opened. Peterson Event Center now in its 6th season. It's just been a place for great success. Our referee tonight is Jim Burr, Jeff Clark, and Joe Lindsay. We'll work with him on the crew, and we're set for the opening tip. Hankey against DeJuan Blair, and the Friars control, immediately get it into the hands of number 5, Dwayne Williams. Missed 4 games earlier with injuries, and they've been hit by injuries as well because they're playing without Sherrod Curry, who played really only 1 game and he's done for the year.
That's a shame. He was ready to have, poised to have a great year. And of course, I got to say this, Pitt starts out man to man.
On the perimeter, it's Williams. Ramon fronts him. Xavier for 3. Got it.
Great patience, great way to start the game for Providence. You want to get confidently into your offense, and of course, nothing better than a three-point basket to get you started.
And a very nice look, wouldn't you say, for Jeff that time? A nice wide-open look.
Nice patience will usually get you pretty good shots. Today I had the opportunity to watch Providence go through their walkthrough in a ballroom at the hotel, and you know, it's always nice to see what teams are supposed to do. Now it'll be interesting to see if they can carry it out.
Ramon kicks it to the corner. That's a three on the way, rattles out. Ramon tracks it down, heads to the basket, feeds Young from the side, misses, and Hankey picks up the rebound.
Well, one of the things Pitt wants to do tonight is get offensive rebounds. Usually is by their bigger guys. Let's see if Providence can be patient on this possession.
It's stripped out of bounds. Take a look at our star watch for the game tonight. Xavier, we talked about him. Sam Young averaging 10 points a game more than he did last year. He has really stepped it up, and they've needed him to in the absence of Cook and Levance Fields. Levance Fields did practice on Friday. Xavier for another three, and he's got the first six.
Well, on cue, the star is on him, and he certainly has delivered twice. There's a guy that can really light it up. He's had a couple of games this year where he's had 27. He was 5 for 8 the other night from three-point line versus St. John's in their 64-62 loss.
And averaged over 16 points a game in Manhattan when he played there in his first 2 years. Also had a 31-point game for Manhattan. Ramon for three. That's too strong. Young with an offensive rebound and the putback.
And that's obviously what Pitt wants to do. They want to win the battle on the offensive boards and make Providence pay for it.
Well, he also showed you how many close games both teams have been involved in. And you look at the Friars, they very easily could have 17 or 18 wins at this point in the season.
They really could, and Timmy Wells continues to do a great job coaching. And if his guys now would just be a little more careful with the ball, they could win a few more games and get to New York.
McKenzie the turnover. Gilbert Brown for the jam. I did talk to Levance Fields, and he thinks he's going to be ready to play against Marquette this weekend. So.
Well, you know what he wanted to do? He wanted to come back for Valentine's Day. I wonder who his sweetie is.
I don't know. To the left hand goes Randall Hankey. It's the first basket by someone other than Xavier.
And that's important. This Providence team is a well-balanced team. They've got 6 guys that get over 8 points a game. So the balance is there. They just sometimes get a little careless with the ball and maybe rush shots.
And against St. John's, they missed 3 key layups and a couple of free throws. Nice move by Young. Went to the left hand and rolls it home. He got 4 points.
Well, you talked about him in the Star Watch. And boy, has he become a star. He's a young man that's probably as good, has made as much improvement as anybody in this league. Definitely a most improved player candidate.
Xavier again. He's got 3 3-pointers already.
And they want to switch. One of the emphasis for Pitt is to switch out on him. He's one of those guys. You cannot give him an open look, and you definitely don't want to let him get off.
They've opened up a 5-point lead. Both the first 6 in the game, as a matter of fact.
And both teams stay man-to-man, and both teams really like to do a lot of switching, especially on the perimeter.
Blair powers his way inside and draws the foul. Not the tallest guy in the league, but certainly one of the biggest. One of the best. Let's take a look at some of your keys to the game, Coach.
Well, first of all, for Providence, you've got to take a good shot. Try to keep them off balance. On the other side, however, for Pitt, win the battle of the boards, get some points off those offensive rebounds, and try to get some transition baskets, because Providence sometimes doesn't get back. And then last but not least, score early and often in the paint. Let's see who can carry out their game plan.
On the drive, the spin move by McDermott is up and bending in. Jeff McDermott, a 6'8 junior. He's got the size.
Power point period. He's got 152 assists. He's number 4 in the Big East in assists.
That's amazing, isn't it?
It really is. One of the best passers in the country. If he would limit his turnovers a little bit.
Ramon passes on the first 3 and hits the second. A 36% three-point shooter, and it's a 1-point game.
Yeah, you can't leave that guy open. West Virginia found that open
They did, didn't they?
the other night. You miss an assignment on him, it's 3. And when Levance Fields comes back, John, he will be better than he's been, because he'll be able to get back to playing that comfortable two position.
McDermott on the drive, offensive foul.
Easy call for Jimmy Burr. You got to pull up. Once you get inside that free throw lane, before you hit the dotted line, you got to pull up.
There's Levance Fields, says he'll be back for the next game. We'll see. Pretty good start. The Friars have not missed a basket so far tonight. And 13-12 is our score. Of course, the difference in the game right now, the three-point shooting of Xavier.
Well, it is. You call him the star. You can say keep an eye on him. He bangs him down one, then two, and then guess what? Just to show you it wasn't a mistake, he comes up with another one from even deeper. 3 shots, 3 baskets, 9 points, and a 13-12 lead.
But each team has had 13 possessions so far, and they've scored 10 times. So that's a good start for both teams. Very solid beginning to a Big East basketball game. No subs yet for the Panthers, nor for the Friars. Ramon inside. Blair turns and scores. Boy, he's so strong.
Well, he is, and of course that was set up by the fact that they switched on the outside. And one of the many things that Pitt does extremely well is they recognize mismatches and take advantage.
Sam Young racing to the other end, lost the ball. Left it behind. Xavier ahead of the pack. Lays it in.
About as easy a basket as he's going to get all night.
That's as close, at least, so far. So he laid it home. We've got a 30-second timeout. But the strength of Blair, he is listed at 6'7", 265, but he's got the wingspan of a guy who's 7'3".
He does, and I tell you what else he's got. He's got the feet of a ballerina, and he's got great hands. And when he gets around that basket, he'll finish just like he did there. And he's such a powerful player that you've got to, it's like you make a choice. If you front him, you're giving him in rebounding position. If you play behind him, then you're at his mercy.
Panthers have a 1-point deficit. They had a brief 1-point lead before the turnover. And we do have one change now for the Friars as they bring in Ray Hall, a 6'11" sophomore from Denver, Colorado. We'll check into the lineup.
Big body. Saw him against Notre Dame, had his best game of his career, and his job right now is to go out there and bang around Mr. Blair.
Got the fouls to give, right?
That's right. You got 5 big ones, baby, that you can use. Why not? Play behind the big fella. Don't get too close because he'll spin on you.
He backs him down and then looks for help and finds it from Ramon. Almost thrown away. Biggs, the shot clock gets inside 10, has a drop in. Tyrell Biggs, the first sub in the lineup for the Panthers. They're not very deep. They've only got 9 players. And that time, McDermott almost fell down. How about that three? It's off the mark. Blair had a piece of it. It winds up in the hands of Biggs. Here's Benjamin, who's played well in the absence of Levance Fields, averaging about 13 points a game. Had a couple of 20-point games. You don't know what's going to happen when they get more minutes, you know?
No, you don't. And what usually most people don't understand is the minutes come by what you do in practice.
This is Benjamin. Inside the foul line. Falls back and hits.
He has really, you talk about when you get more minutes, his game has gone to another level when he started not only to get more minutes, when he stopped worrying about somebody coming in off the bench for him, and he's just been playing so calm and so collected.
Xavier with it. Has a little problem with Ronald Ramon. All the Pitt starters have scored so far. And Xavier, another three. That one's short. The rebound to Sam Young. Here comes Ronald Ramon. Nice interception by McDermott. Second Panther turnover. Trailing the play is McDermott, and kicked it out of bounds. Excuse me, that was McKenzie, and it's turnover number 4 on the Friars. Thought they had the break, and they didn't.
Well, McDermott did the right thing giving it up, and as you'll see on this play, McDermott gets the steal. He's coming down. He's got a man between him and the basket. He gives it up, but you got to hold on to that basketball.
Marshawn Brooks, a freshman from Georgia, has checked into the lineup. And for the Panthers, getting their first playing time tonight, is Gary McGee. He's a freshman out of Anderson, Indiana. He is on the court for the first time. And also another freshman, Brad Wanamaker. This is the turnover difference so far. Wanamaker was a big key to that victory over West Virginia.
So you can see there the points off the turnover so far, 4-2 for Pitt.
Young for 3. Comes up short. Tracked down on the rebound by Jermaine Peterson gets it to Williams. Now McDermott loves to drive down that lane. Can't finish though. They get it back. Is he out of bounds? He was. Peterson was out of bounds. It'll be Panther basketball.
Here you got McDermott on that drive. Only danger here is somebody coming over and picking up another offensive foul on him. So sometimes, you know, you got to just be ready to pull up for the easy one.
There's the early rebounding advantage. Not much, but belongs to Pitt. Here's Young. Wanamaker to the baseline. Puts up a run off the glass and good. They are spreading the wealth in this game so far tonight.
Talk about another guy that's starting to look like he's becoming a lot more relaxed and playing a lot better, and that is Wanamaker.
A 6-0 Panther run. They've opened up their biggest lead, a 5-point edge here in the first half. And 7 Panthers have scored so far. Williams to Brooks. No points in the last 3 minutes. Williams tries to end that drought and does. What a great shot.
It really was. One of the shot. It looks like you've been watching Benjamin. That's a shot that Benjamin likes to take. That floater in the lane.
Cuts the lead to 3. Just about 9 minutes into this opening half here on the campus of the University of Pittsburgh. Great to have you along for Big East basketball. Young pulls up, line drives it out. Nice rebound by Biggs. He'll go back up, bending off. No good. And then underneath, McGee had it. That's blocked. Back the other way comes McDermott. Little head fake. And that one will count. No charging there. McDermott loves to go to the basket. He jams it in and will go to the line. And the foul will go on Wanamaker. The Panthers' first foul of the night. And here we go. Pitt's lead is 1. Could be a tie. This guy loves to drive. He's been doing it all night long. Point Panther lead. Their only loss at home this year was a conference loss to Rutgers, which was a shocking night for Pitt. Not shocking to see Jeff McDermott take the ball to the hole, is it?
No, it isn't. And I tell you what, it's not shocking to see a guy come out of the game because he didn't get a charge. And when McDermott goes to the hole, you know he's going to dunk, so you want to be in position to take the offensive foul. And those plays come back to be as big as a basket if you're on the Pitt side.
Chance for a tie game here at 20-20. Rebounding edge for Pittsburgh, 7-3 now. And that's going to be critical for the Friars to keep that close.
Well, you got to, especially on the offensive glass, you got to keep Pitt from getting second chance baskets.
The other thing that we've seen a rash of lately, Coach, is players down the stretch not making free throws. It happened to West Virginia here in this building the other night against Pittsburgh. It was one of the reasons they lost the game.
By all means, and you've got to make free throws. And obviously every year teams seem to get a little bit less efficient from the free throw line. Providence right now went to a 2-3 zone. They did it out of a little tandem set, but it's a 2-3.
Shot clock inside 10. Here comes Gilbert Brown. Wanamaker along the baseline, feeds inside to Blair, and that one's blocked. Picked up by Benjamin. He gets the shot off at the buzzer. It goes out of bounds and belongs to Providence.
Well, once again, Providence said we're going to change defenses. We're going to try to keep them off balance. And I think it's working a little bit, especially with Hall in the game. You probably look to see them play a lot more 2-3 zone.
Well, the Friars are also missing Jonathan Colley, who has been suspended and is not with the team tonight.
And that's a bigger loss than the numbers indicate, because he's a guy that plays really, really well with McDermott. He's a real tough, hard-nosed guy that loves to throw his weight around.
Here's McDermott outside. Again, the shot clock is at 7. Williams going to have to put it up. And he will. A three-pointer on the way, no good, an air ball, and a shot clock violation. 9:33 to play in the first half.
Every shot counts here in Pittsburgh. You don't want to give away any possessions.
Marquette with an early lead at Seton Hall, and Louisville and DePaul to follow. And you better watch out for the Cardinals of Louisville. Well, they're starting to heat it up.
They are. They're healthy and typical Rick Pitino team. Injuries, a lot of injuries early.
Nice feed from Blair to Wanamaker.
You had Padgett come back for Louisville, and hopefully you'll have Fields coming back for Pittsburgh. And you want to see all these guys where they belong, and that is on the court.
What team has surprised you in a positive fashion the most in this league this year?
I'll tell you what, I think the team, and I mean, obviously, is Connecticut. I mean, they've had the talent, but they just hadn't put it together. And it seemed like when they lost a couple of players, it seemed like they started to play better. It was almost like Jimmy was trying to play and keep too many guys happy.
Marshawn Brooks was just his second three-pointer of the season. He's now 2 for 7. Fourth lead change, and not one there because Peterson has the rebound on the weak side. Tonight's game being produced and distributed by ESPN Regional Television Incorporated. This is McDermott. Here he comes. Blocking foul, count the basket. So some production from Marshawn Brooks. He's got 5 points already. And the foul is going to be the first on DeJuan Blair. It's another thing that's been key for Pittsburgh in the stretch without Levance Fields is keeping the big man Blair on the court.
Well, you know what? He gets the credit for that. He has realized how important he is to this Pitt team. Even though he is a freshman, he knows that if Pitt's going to win, if Pitt's going to go far in the Big East, if Pitt's going to go far in the NCAA tournament, he's got to be on the court. So you got to give him a lot of credit for being really smart.
4-point lead now for the Friars. We have been seesawing back and forth. Both teams playing very well so far.
Well, with the team that Pitt has in the game right now, if you can keep your eye on Ramon and sort of take care of that middle a little bit, you got a good chance to play some zone and maybe get a few good possessions out of it.
That was a pretty good move, though, by Tyrell Biggs that time.
Very good. They love to run that X motion with their big guys and flash one of them into the middle. And Biggs is a lot better shooter than most people give him credit for.
Charles Birch is out there now. So a deep bench as far as head coach Tim Welsh is concerned. Not a good effort that time by Ray Hall. He was going to shoot that no matter what. Wanamaker sets up Ramon for three. His second.
That's a 5-point play in my book. You know, it's 2 you give away at one end because the big guy should be looking to pass, and then you give up a 3. It's a 5-point swing. Huge difference in games.
Puts the Panthers back on top. They had been down by 4 just a moment ago.
Hall's got to be smart enough to realize he's into bang, he's into rebound, he's not into score. This guy is into score.
Xavier fouled by Ronald Ramon. It'll be number 1 on Ronald. Just a third team foul on the Pitt Panthers. They've got the lead right now. We've got a good one going here at the Peterson Event Center. We are back, and you're looking at Levance Fields, who hopes to be ready to play in the Marquette game coming up on the 15th of this month. That'll be just 3 days from now. He did practice on Friday, but it looks like his foot is pretty good because watch him after the game winner by Ronald Ramon.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't think I've seen him run this quick. Where is he? He's sprinting across the court, and maybe that's why he's not ready tonight. But I'll tell you what, it looks like he's about ready to play. And the other thing is, like I'm sure his grandmother would tell him, stop biting your fingernails. Look at him. That is so good to see.
It was a huge win over their arch rivals. The backyard basketball brawl. They'll play again, those two. Panthers also playing Villanova. They've already played them twice. They'll play Cincinnati again. So 2 times against West Virginia, Cincinnati, and Villanova. Xavier goes inside over the top. There's the trap. McDermott fights it up, missed the shot. The follow, though, goes by Henke. We're at the Peterson Event Center on the campus of the University of Pittsburgh on a chilly, snowy, and at times freezing rain type night for Big East Conference basketball. Panthers ranked number 24 in the country. They've kind of been sliding of late, along with Mike Jarvis. I'm John Sanders. Congratulations to Mike Jarvis, a new member of the GW Hall of Fame. That must have been quite a thrill for you.
It really, really was. You know, I can't tell you how special it is to go back to a place where you've made friends and where they still love you. And it was great.
Number 23 fouled number 23, and Young will shoot a pair as he tried to go up with the follow. Providence by a point.
Well, Providence, even with the substitutions, bringing Henke back in, stay with the 2-3 zone. And the thing that Timmy will do, Coach Welsh will do with the 2-3 is he'll give it different looks. You know, he'll sometimes start out of a tandem set. Sometimes he'll go with a straight 2-3. Sometimes he'll come back out of a 3/4 court press. But once again, the idea is to try to keep Pitt a little bit off balance.
Almost had our 6th lead change. Instead, it's a 28-28 tie.
You won't see Pitt play too much zone, though.
No, man-to-man is their staple and has been for years.
And speaking of man-to-man, you know, Ramon has really, that was a tough pass, real tough pass. I don't know how to expect the big man to catch that one.
Not when it's behind his head.
No, and to the wrong side.
6th turnover of the opening half, and the Panthers do have a chance to retake the lead, which would be lead change number 6. It's been that kind of a seesaw first half, and a good one with about 15.5 to play. McDermott hammers Young from behind. That'll be his 2nd foul. He's going to make him earn it because that was going to go down right there.
Well, it was. The only thing is you got to wonder if maybe the foul is, you know, is more harmful than the basket. I mean, if I'm Providence and that's my guy, I mean, I'm almost saying, you know what, give him the basket. I'd rather have him not get in foul trouble. But a good player should be able to play with 2.
Blair checks back in. McGee to the bench.
A lot of openings in the middle of that zone, though, and Pittsburgh does such a great job screening guys and getting people open in the middle.
1 of 2 at the line for Sam Young. Panthers by a point. 14 fouls on the Friars, 3 on Pittsburgh. It's been a very even first half, and that's just a mistake right there that Young takes advantage of. The alley-oop and a jam. That wakes them up here at the center.
Well, oh, yeah, it'll wake anybody up. You got to take good care of the basketball. Once again, we talked about that in terms of keys to the game, and that's the thing that gets Providence in trouble. It got them in trouble against St. John's, a game they should have won.
Hands it back to McDermott. Working on Benjamin right now. Xavier matched up against Ronald Ramon, and then Benjamin helps out. McDermott outside the arc. Got it for 3. He's got 8 points. That's his first 3-pointer. He's a 32% 3-point shooter.
I think that's a 2, John.
It is a 2. They changed it to a 2. The initial call was 3. They'll wipe that out, give him 7 points in the first half with 4:40 to play. 1-point lead for the Panthers. And checking into the lineup now is Alex Kellogg.
And also, this is when you take McDermott out. He's got 2. You don't want him to pick up 3. And you hope with 4:40 to go, the Providence guys, if you're Timmy Welsh, you hope they can just hold serve.
3 ties, 7 lead changes so far. And if Alex Kellogg is from Columbus, Ohio, you know that his daddy's got to be Clark, huh?
Well, you know it. I'll tell you what. And good-looking freshman.
Nice feed to Young. He's the first Panther in double figures with 10. It's a 3-point Pittsburgh lead. A little floater will go. Nice job that time by McKenzie. That's his first basket. He's averaging over 11 a game.
You can tell both teams like they practice that floating shot.
They do.
A lot of different guys can shoot it.
And I'm still amazed sometimes, Coach, at the number of guys who will pass on about a 12-footer to shoot a floater in the lane in traffic. You know?
Yeah. You know what? It looks a lot. It looks cool. You know.
Nice move by Blair.
And guys forget a lot of times that you don't get any style points.
That's right. It still only counts 2, doesn't it?
That's right.
It's been a very well played and a very quickly played first half. Not many fouls. One reason the Friars are trailing are the turnovers. Here's Kellogg. He's 6'7".
And most of their turnovers are not forced. And that's the thing that drives a coach crazy.
Shot clock at 5. Not that time. He made the first 3 3-pointers, did Xavier. He misses that one. 3 minutes to go. Wanamaker on the run. Misses the shot. And Young with a rebound. He's fouled from behind. And that foul is going to go on Ray Hall.
Well, they
take us to a timeout with 3:05 to play. Sam Young starts the rush. He's going to get it back from Benjamin for 2.
We know you like style. We know you like performance.
Pittsburgh by 3. That matches their biggest lead here in the first half. The Friars had the first 6 points, and everybody loves the alley-oop off the break, and it was beautifully done by the Panthers.
Well, once again, that's a play that you practice, and these guys certainly know each other very well.
How about a Star Watch update as we wind down the opening half? Just over 3 minutes to play. Xavier got off to the great start. He's made 3 3-pointers, but Sam Young has matched him so far.
Yes, he has, in a very quiet Sam Young way. He just gets it done.
Panthers have used 8 players, and 7 of them have scored.
And during that time,
That's right.
You know, you mentioned, John, that Timmy brought McDermott back in, and I said, you know what, I think it's a pretty good move, because even though he might get up third foul, you want to stay close.
Ramon for 3.
Well, you can't give up 3 to Ramon on an out-of-bounds play.
That is his 3rd 3-pointer, and the Panthers have their biggest lead of the half.
Somebody missed an assignment, because today they worked so much on switching out on him.
This is McDermott. Xavier the dump down and the turnover. Another one for Providence. That's 8. Ramon looking for his 2nd straight basket. I guess he was too close.
Probably. You know, there's something to be said about that. He's a much better shooter when he's beyond the 3.
McKenzie working for 3 and hammers it home. A 41% 3-point shooter, and he was looking for that 3 that time.
Yes, he was. Anybody that shoots over 40%, that's like 60% from field goal range, from 2-point line. You got to look for it.
Benjamin has been quiet, only 2 points for him in the first half. Young loses it. Nice job by McDermott to come up with the steal. Xavier kicks it to Williams. McKenzie looking for 3. That's too strong. Young on the weak side with a rebound.
If the first pass was better, the next one would have been there. He might have knocked that one down.
Here comes Benjamin. Now he backs away. DeJuan Blair, one of the top freshmen in this conference, steps through, puts it up, hits the deck, no foul, no basket.
And if you're one of the top freshmen in this conference, you're one of the top freshmen in the country.
Xavier for 3. Comes up short. Young, another rebound. And a timeout is called. It'll be a 20-second or 30-second timeout. Take a look at our 3-point comparison. Providence has hit 5. Panthers have hit 3. You see their numbers on the season. Fairly similar.
Yeah, you're looking at 38 for Providence, and you're looking at 34 for Pitt. Anything above 33 is acceptable, because once again, 33% from the 3-point line is equivalent to 50% from the 2-point line. And my rule was, as a coach, if you don't shoot at least 33% from 3, you don't shoot 3s.
Now, most of the scoring here has been done from the outside. There were some breakaways. DeJuan Blair has done some of his work inside.
Okay, John.
Minute 20 to play in the opening half. Along with Mike Jarvis, I'm John Sanders. Glad to have you along on our coverage here from Pittsburgh. The Big East basketball matchup, and boy, they're all critical. Young, quick turnaround, he buries it.
Boy, he had the little guy on him. He just shot over him like he wasn't there. He just makes it look so easy, John, these days. He has really become a complete player.
Well, and that's another thing. You could tell that he was in rhythm. He knew what he was doing. That was the shot he wanted to shoot.
Exactly.
Final minute of the opening half. McKenzie to the baseline. Nice feed. Yes, that was a good feed that time.
That's why he's got all those assists. Oh, you know what? He passed that ball, so I thought that was McDermott making that pass.
It was Birch, wasn't it?
Wow, yes, it was.
Wraparound pass. Now, the Panthers are going to use up the rest of the time. They have a 3-point lead. It's been a well-played first half.
Yes, it has.
Stick around for our halftime report. We'll have our Big East Wire. Look at some of the top guard tandems in the conference. Young from straight away, bending good. I didn't think that was going to go. Hankey at the buzzer. Misses. He almost sneaked it in there, didn't he?
Yeah, he didn't realize he had a little bit more time.
But a good first half of play. The Panthers had a lead of 6, and so did the Friars. And as we go to intermission, it's 42-37. The Pitt Panthers using some muscle inside. The alley-oop, one of their big plays in the half. 42-37. Our Big East halftime report is coming up. And the Panthers were also more than halfway through the Big East season. It's become apparent that good guard play is essential for success in this league. In tonight's Big East Wire, we'll take a look at some of the top backcourts around the league. We'll start with the first place team, Georgetown. Jonathan Wallace and Jesse Sapp. These two have to be mentioned first because they have their team in prime position in the Big East. Jonathan Wallace can do a lot of different things on the floor. His main duty is running the team. He does a great job of putting his teammates in good position to succeed. Jesse Sapp always seems to hit the big shot for the Hoyas just when they need it the most. He can also put it on the floor and dish. He leads that team in assists. These two don't put up overly impressive numbers, but take one look at the win-loss column for Georgetown, and that will speak volumes for their value to the team. Jonathan Wallace and Jesse Sapp of the Hoyas of Georgetown. For Syracuse, Johnny Flynn and Paul Harris. Paul Harris was recently moved into the backcourt due to injury, and his presence alongside Johnny Flynn has bolstered the Orange guard play. Flynn is a serious contender for Big East Rookie of the Year honors. He can score from anywhere on the court. He's added a lot of excitement to the Syracuse team in the manner in which he puts the ball in the basket. Harris brings a more physical presence to the backcourt. He's 5th in rebounding in the Big East. He can score inside. He can score outside. He's made it difficult for teams to match up against him and his fellow running mate. It's Johnny Flynn, Paul Harris, two of the best from Syracuse. Notre Dame, you look at Torrey Jackson and Kyle McIlharney. And these two have been a big reason that the Notre Dame Fighting Irish have a firm grasp on second place in the Big East Conference. Jackson runs the team very efficiently, has a knack for finding the hot hand. He leads the Big East in assists with an average of over 6 per game. Jackson isn't asked to score much with all the shooters on the Notre Dame team, but he can put it in the hole when he needs to. McIlharney can light it up when he's on, scoring over 30 points twice since Big East play began. He leads the league in three-point field goal percentage and three-point field goals made. McIlharney, not just a gunner, second on the team in assists and steals. We've got more to come when we return to the Peterson Event Center. We'll check out the Big East Coaches Spotlight, take a look at the Player and Rookie of the Week. Stay with us. Back after this.
If it's your desire to become a chef, you can do it. If it's your dream to own your own restaurant, you can make it happen. Call an affiliate of Le Cordon Bleu Schools North America to discover how. Le Cordon Bleu affiliated schools have many successful graduates working right now as culinary professionals. You can be next, and you don't even have to know how to cook to get started. Bring your passion to learn. Call now for a complimentary CD-ROM.
Call 800-980-0248. That's 800-980-0248. Call now.
Life is shaped as much as anything by the people you meet and the people you come into contact with. And the people I met at Providence College have had a bigger influence on me than people I've met anywhere else in life. You know, I certainly wouldn't be the person I am today without Providence College. I really feel like that's the place where I went to become who I was going to be. And the 4 years that I spent at PC, I loved.
Class-leading horsepower.
Call Jeff.
An exclusive sync voice-activated sound and communication system and a class-exclusive panoramic Vista roof. And at just $269 a month, the all-new Edge is one class act. Edge, only at your Tri-State Ford dealer.
Get the most college hoops in the nation on ESPN Full Court presented by Olivia. With the best teams and key matchups from some of college basketball's top conferences, ESPN Full Court brings home the excitement with up to 450 games this season you won't get in your area. ESPN Full Court presented by Olivia. The most college basketball anywhere. Only $109 for a limited time. Call your pay-per-view provider today. Games also available on ESPN360.com.
With all-wheel drive, stability control, and the best horsepower in its class, the hot new Ford Edge is quicker off the line than a BMW X5. And now all that performance can be yours for $269 a month. Taunting lessons in German not included. Edge, only at your Tri-State Ford dealer.
Wednesday on MSG, the Knicks head for Beantown to battle it out with the new Beast of the East. Catch Jamal Crawford and the rest of New York when they take on the Celtics. The Knicks and the Celtics, Wednesday night, only on MSG.
To celebrate Black History Month, MSG is going to the movies. The NBA wouldn't give these players a shot, so they played their own game. The story of the Harlem Globetrotters. Go, man, go. Premieres Thursday at 9 on MSG.
Terrific week for Jeff Adrian of the Huskies. And the guy we've already talked about here at halftime is Johnny Flynn. He could be the Big East Rookie of the Year when all is said and done. He is the Big East Rookie of the Week. Looking at the week ahead, there are some very important games yet to come in conference play. Notre Dame and UConn on Wednesday. Panthers and Marquette on Syracuse Saturday. Louisville and Providence on Saturday. It's going to just tougher down the stretch as we head for home in the regular season of the Big East. We've got more to come. Highlights and stats are straight ahead. Court, we had a terrific halftime here at the Peterson Event Center. I'm John Sanders, along once again with Mike Jarvis, and good shooting. Both teams shooting well over 50% in the first half. They both played well. We're going to check it out now with our PNC first half highlights, and the early highlight belonged to a guy by the name of Xavier.
Well, he got off. I mean, he was our Star Watch guy, and they didn't pay enough attention to him early. Let him get a rhythm going. He knocks down 1 3, and then he hits another one. Benjamin not getting out on him quick enough. And then he gets another one a little bit deeper than the previous 2. And he started out great, as did the rest of the Providence team. It's a very good three-point shooting team.
They made 5 in the first half, and then I think midway through the first half, number 23 in white started to take over a little bit.
Well, once again, no coincidence. He was our Star Watch guy, and he did it a lot of different ways. Did it rebounding, did it on the break, and did it with nice, effortless turnaround jump shot.
He had a good first half, as a matter of fact, with 14 points to lead his team in scoring. Xavier had 11 to lead his team in scoring. We've got 20 more minutes of Big East Conference basketball. Stay with us.
Riddled with formidable obstacles. Beware the blue demons, huskies, and pirates. Heed the wildcats roar. Fear the friars. Before you can reach the pinnacle, you must survive a litany of stern challenges. In the Big East Conference, you come to play every game, or you never reach the gates of the city.
We know you like style. We know you like performance. We thought you'd like fuel economy and a great warranty as well. With the Pontiac G6 sedan, you get 30 EPA estimated highway miles per gallon and more horsepower than Camry, and a 100,000-mile, 5-year powertrain limited warranty. The new Pontiac, designed for action.
Feed your family for less at KFC. Right now, treat them to some chicken and biscuits for just $7.99. That's 8 tender, juicy drumsticks and thighs and 4 buttermilk biscuits, all just $7.99. Now that's value. 8 freshly cooked original recipe or extra crispy drumsticks and thighs, plus 4 homestyle biscuits, all for a budget-friendly $7.99 at KFC. And while you're there, pick up some sauceless hot wings with the spicy flavor you crave, cooked right in. 6 for just $2.99. You want value? It's here, only at KFC.
Get the most college hoops in the nation on ESPN Full Court, presented by Olivia. With the best teams and key matchups from some of college basketball's top conferences, ESPN Full Court brings home the excitement with up to 450 games this season you won't get in your area. ESPN Full Court, presented by Olivia. The most college basketball anywhere. Only $109 for a limited time. Call your pay-per-view provider today. Games also available on ESPN360.com.
Panthers will have the ball to start the second half. Along with Mike Jarvis, I'm John Sanders. Take a look at the statistics from the opening half. And I mentioned both teams shot the ball back the other way. Here's McKenzie. A little stop and go move against Young. Not a very good shot, but the follow is there for Hankey. He's got 8.
And Timmy's not very happy with that first possession by Mr. McKenzie. You've got to, every shot counts against Pittsburgh. They got very, very fortunate that time and got that basket.
3-point lead. The lead at halftime was 5 at 42-37. McKenzie guarding Ramon. He dribbles between his legs, lost it momentarily, gets it back, finds Benjamin. Young, quick turnaround on the baseline, bending off, and a rebound by Blair, and a foul.
Got a box out, John. You got a box out. Big guy, big Hanky, got a box.
The foul is going to go on Xavier. That'll be his first. Panthers had only 3 fouls in the first half. It's been basically a game that's played at a very quick pace with few dead balls. And we've got another foul. This is going to be a shooting foul. Wow. Williams picks up the foul, and that will put Gilbert Brown, a redshirt freshman from Harrisburg, on the line. Played in 3 games a year ago and then was hurt. Went for the red shirt, and of course in the absence of Mike Cook, he's moved into the starting lineup.
Very athletic wing player. Pitt likes him a lot. Sometimes he lacks a little bit, maybe the intensity he needs on defense, but a very, very good-looking young player.
And that rebound was the first of the evening for Blair. That's hard to believe.
Yes, it is.
A guy that averages 10 rebounds a game.
Well, don't be surprised if he doesn't end up with 10.
That's right. We've got a long way to go. We've played only a minute of the second half. McDermott looks inside and has it stolen by Young. They'll foul him on his way to the basket. And the Panthers want intentional. They're not going to get intentional.
And they should have, but they won't get it. Watch this here. Once again, McDermott sometimes gets that ball up there a little bit too much. Definitely could have been called intentional. I think the lead official was waiting for the trail to call it. That's why it was missed.
It obviously was an intentional foul.
Yeah, it was.
Not a flagrant foul, but intentional.
Most definitely.
Young again from the side.
Yeah, but Young got away with a little travel that time, so I guess it all balances out.
Panthers by 7. That's their biggest lead of the night.
All right, McDermott, tie your sneaker.
Yeah, he's going to have to sooner or later. He's going to
hurt himself.
He's going to fall on his face. That's what's going to happen. Well, both shoes might be untied. Xavier on a drive and a foul. That will go against Gilbert Brown. It'll be his first. 46-39 Panthers lead.
Here we go.
Yeah, repair that shoe lace. Halftime, Marquette having its way at Seton Hall. And we're still waiting for the start of Louisville and DePaul. Hankey with it against Blair. McDermott to Xavier. He thought about shooting the 3.
Yes, he did.
McKenzie with it. Nice dump down pass, but it winds up a turnover as Blair gets it ahead to Benjamin. Benjamin puts it up and in. He had a player on the wing, decided to do it himself.
Well, he made that 3-on-1 a lot more difficult than it needed to be. But they scored.
He got the basket, a 6-0 Panther run. They're now up by 9.
Very, very huge possession for Providence. You don't want to let this get over 10. Need a basket here.
Williams from outside, bending short, and the rebound by Young. Ramon gets inside, feeds Young. Steps to the foul line, now drives down underneath, feeds Blair, up and in.
There's that double-digit lead. Psychological, always, you never want to let a team get out in front of you by more than 10.
And Tim Welch is going to call timeout. That'll make it a full timeout. The first call timeout. The Panthers up by 11, 50-39.
You ever dream? It's NHL Center Ice Online. Your place to watch over 1,000 out-of-market NHL games.
Oh, they are, and they're getting the ball where they want to, and that is near the basket. And that's the difference right now. Pittsburgh, with their leadership up front and their experience, when they get to a point where they need a basket, they get closer. Providence has got to do the same thing if they want to stay in this game. You're not going to beat them with just threes.
Marshawn Brooks is checked into the lineup now for the Friars. He wears number 2. Williams will handle the inbound pass. 50-39. Played just over 3 minutes here in the second half. That's Brooks with it. Tipped out of bounds. It was deflected out of bounds, so the Friars will keep it with 12 on the shot clock.
The idea was good. Providence running that time a set to try and see if they could post up McDermott.
So they'll put it back to 15, I believe, don't they? Yes.
Very good, Joe. With some of the calls that have been made lately, I think we're going to have to put you in a black and white strip. Not in this game. This game has been well golfed this year.
Well, there's been a lot of controversy of late, that's for sure.
Well, they have.
Brooks. Nice drive.
Nice drive. Get the ball in the basket. You know, everybody wants to get threes and get it quick. You gotta get successive baskets. This is a point where Providence needs to make 3 stops in a row, score 2 or 3 times in a row to get back in.
Brooks, the freshman off the bench, has 8 points. That's a career high for him, and that's a holding foul. That will be the second on Xavier. Let's take a look now at our select stats, brought to you by Select Sector Spiders. Shooting percentage has been terrific both ways tonight.
They have, and most of the times you want to think it's because of a lack of defense, but I think in both cases it's just that maybe it's cold outside and they want to try and warm things up in here, but they're both shooting well.
I think you're right. On the perimeter now, Brown, Benjamin, now Ramon. 15 on the shot clock. Benjamin inside, turns, and travels. So the Panthers' 5th turnover will turn it back to the Friars of Providence. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. 60-41 lead as we come back to the Peterson Event Center here on the campus of the University of Pittsburgh. Day started out with heavy snow, and I think it's going to finish with freezing rain. So welcome those of you who live in Florida.
Well, I'll tell you what, the roads were real slippery. And, you know, this is a tribute, I think, to the town of Pittsburgh and to this university and to this team to have this many people on such a treacherous night out there.
The place has been sold out since it opened.
It is a gorgeous place, unless you're the visiting team.
That's right. And then you don't like it at all. Tim Welch has never won a game here.
Well, a lot of people haven't won games here.
That's true.
Including yours truly. I think we won in the old building.
Xavier outside. Shot clock at 15. That's a 3-pointer on the way. Too strong. Tipped out of bounds, and it was touched last by Marshawn Brooks as he battled Ronald Ramon for the ball. So the Panthers will get it back with 15:22 to play.
Yeah, and that's a shot that I think Timmy would really like to get a lot closer to the basket. You know, run that shot clock down to end up with a 3-point shot. There's that middle of the zone again that they really do so well at getting the ball into.
Benjamin might shoot the 3 there. He did not. Bell goes back to Brown. Here's Young with a quick turnaround. Good.
Once again, the middle of the zone. Providence has got to do a much better job taking away the middle, because that's where Pittsburgh wants to get the ball, and then everything can happen once you get the ball in the middle of the zone.
Back to that 11-point lead. Young now with 18 points. He's getting good looks, and he's shooting the ball well. There have been times earlier this year when he struggled. McDermott tried to go inside, threw it off the leg of DeJuan Blair. Here come the Panthers on the run. This is Brown. Weaves back out, and they'll set up. That was the 11th turnover. Brown with a baseline jumper. DeJuan Blair back with a rebound and good.
It's one thing to give up a rebound. It's another thing when it leads to a score. Double trouble.
Makes it 54-41. Just over 6 minutes gone here in the second half. Xavier thought about shooting. Instead goes to McDermott. He has the shot blocked. Tipped up. Loose. McDermott gets it back underneath. Reverses. Missed the shot.
Got to make those.
And that's what happened to him at St. John's. Benjamin on a drive maybe should have waited for some help.
Well, you know, that's not finger roll time. That's when you go straight up, right off the glass.
Brian McKenzie will back it out. Bending short. There's Blair with a rebound. Settling for shots you don't like, huh?
Yeah, well, you know, once again, the three ball, it's nice and it's like fool's gold. And right now you've got 4 guys with Providence on the perimeter, the 1 guy inside. If you're going to have to get it inside one way or the other.
Inside, Young. Looks low, reverses for 3. Ronald Ramon rattles it home. That's his 4th. A dozen for him.
And that's what happens when you get the ball into the middle of the floor. It opens up things all over the place.
And Tim Welsh has seen enough. He'll call a timeout with 13 minutes exactly remaining in the game. The Panthers have bounced out here in the second half and have really opened it up.
Well, they have. And once again, you're going to see the basket, but that basket's made by the pass that goes into the middle, into the high post, and then the great pass by Sam Young. And, you know, it wouldn't be so bad if I didn't see Providence walk through today and see Coach Welsh emphasizing certain little things like get the ball inside, don't settle for quick shots, take care of the ball. So once again, the game plan was good. You got to execute.
A 15-4 run for the Panthers to start the second half, and they have opened up their biggest lead. Top 25 action. Second half, Purdue leading Michigan State, and Butler over the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, also in the second half. Now, the Panthers tonight have turned it over only 5 times and committed only 4 fouls.
That's pretty good, especially the turnovers.
Yeah. After 27 minutes, it's not bad at all.
But that's why they're Pittsburgh, and that's why they're always there.
And that's why they're tough in this building.
Yes.
Brooks is outside. Looks to Peterson. Has it knocked away. Brooks gets it back, drives down the lane, and it's deflected again. Another turnover. That's a dozen. Ramon. Oh, what a great step and a great pass.
Great pass. The old bounce pass. Oh, boy, you love to see the bounce pass made. Because the only way the defense can get it is by kicking it. And
another steal. Here comes Benjamin. Williams goes after him, and he scores again. It is unraveling right now for the Friars. 20-point lead, and look at the points off turnovers, 19.
And Pittsburgh smells blood, John, and that's the other thing that this team, I mean, you can really tell when they got another team on the ropes. They just turn up the heat.
20-point lead.
Especially the pressure on the ball.
Here comes Brooks. Puts up a floater. On the weak side, out of bounds. We have a break. Brown will return for Pittsburgh. The Panthers are leading by 20.
We know you like style. We know you like performance. We thought you'd like fuel economy and a great warranty as well. With the Pontiac G6 sedan, you get 30 EPA estimated highway miles per gallon and more horsepower than Camry, and a 100,000-mile 5-year powertrain limited warranty. The new Pontiac, designed for action.
The road to Gotham is riddled with formidable obstacles. Beware the blue demons, huskies, and pirates. Heed the wildcats roar. Fear the Friars. Before you can reach the pinnacle, you must survive a litany of stern challenges. In the Big East Conference, you come to play every game, or you never reach the gates of the city.
Wednesday on MSG, before this year's NBA All-Stars take the court, join the living legend Walt Clyde Frazier for his very own lineup of All-Star favorites.
I'll tell you who's shaking and baking their way to the top of my list.
Plus, Clyde's Cool 5. Most memorable moments, and a look at his very own all-star wardrobe. All on the T-Mobile Walt Clyde Frazier's All-Star Favorites, presented by 1050 ESPN New York. Wednesday night on MSG. Wednesday on MSG, the Knicks head for Beantown to battle it out with the new Beast of the East. Catch Jamal Crawford and the rest of New York when they take on the Celtics. The Knicks and the Celtics, Wednesday night, only on MSG.
Tonight on the FSN Final Four, presented by DirecTV, number 10 Michigan State takes on number 19 Purdue, and we'll win Best in Show at the world's most famous dog show. For all the day's highlights in 30 minutes, it's the Final Four.
The 20-point Panther lead and all season-long champion apparel will be showcasing the tradition and history of the Big East Conference. Tonight, let's take a look at a tradition here at the University of Pittsburgh. We're talking about the outstanding cheerleading crew, and there's Teresa Nunzio, who runs it and has for years. They are among the best in the country. They have won awards. Under her leadership, they've been terrific. She's also involved in the national level with cheerleading camps and those kinds of things. So congratulations. Champion. It's how you play.
It is how you play.
Known Teresa for a long time. She does a great job. The Panthers in control. They've got the basketball again. McGee is on the court now. Also Wanamaker, a couple of freshmen. Brown for three. Comes up short. Xavier the rebound, and he's fouled immediately by McGee.
Well, this is character time right now, John. Character time. This is when, you know, if you're Providence, you've got to just strap them up, and you got to say, okay, guys, we're going to make stops, and we're going to get some baskets, and we're going to do the dirty work. They haven't got dirty enough. You know, they really haven't played physical enough tonight.
Xavier launches, miss, and a rebound, pulled down by McGee.
And Ramon has done a really good job on him since the beginning of the game.
Right, he got a hot start, and then Ronald Ramon clamped down on him.
He really did.
This is Biggs, looks inside. McGee underneath, tried to reverse, and it was blocked that time by McDermott.
Yeah, he needed to go straight up on that one.
Remember, Xavier started out 4 for 4 in this game, and he's not made a basket since. He still has 11 points. That's what he had in the half. Wanamaker up and bending in.
I'll tell you what, he gave the big guy the ball in a place where you don't want to give him on the run, but the big guy, McGee, was able to give it off before he ran somebody over. Got to give him a lot of credit on that one.
21-4 run to start the second half. It has been all Pittsburgh. And that's going to be a bump foul on McGee. He will pick up his second in a row. Tonight's game being produced and distributed by ESPN Regional Television Incorporated. Glad to have you with us on a chilly night here in the Berg. Of course, talking to the guys from Providence, they say, well, that's about the same up there, so no big deal. No, it's a nice inbound play. Hankey with 10 points gets himself into double figures. The second Fryer in double figures, and that slows down that second half run a little bit.
You know, 2 years ago, the big guy Hankey was led the nation in field goal percentage with 67%. So you'd think you'd want to go to him a little bit more.
Ramon inside. Gets it back to Brown. The Panthers shooting about 60% on the night. That's an offensive foul. That'll be his second.
Well, Coach Welsh, just like his partner at the other end, Jamie Dixon, those guys are going to coach every possession of every game. There's no quit in either one of these guys. Two of the best young coaches in America.
That's Birch with it outside. He's a senior from Massachusetts. Xavier turns for three, and he still can't find the target. Boy, he looked like he was going to have a world-class night.
Incredible, yes.
Biggs lost it underneath, gets it back. Looking for some room underneath, can't find it. He has to go outside. Wanamaker takes it away from Brown. Here's Ramon. That's an easy three for him. 5 3-pointers, 15 on the night.
That's almost the same spot where he made that three against West Virginia.
You're right.
He loves the left side. I always said, you know, if you're a right-hand shooter, most righties like to shoot on the left side because they got that right eye lined up with the rim.
Well, that's a good point.
Vice versa. Got away with a push.
Yep, they did. But they do get it back. Oh, why did he do that? That's from the corner, and that's a three. So finally, Burke hits the three-pointer.
Well, you know what? Why that? Because the Providence player thought that it was going to be a backcourt.
Yeah.
And I think, well, honestly, I don't think it would have been called backcourt anyhow.
I don't either. But they wound up getting 3 points out of it. And it'll be Benjamin checking back in with Young and Blair. So 3 of the starters returning to the lineup for Pittsburgh. They lead by 20. I think the ball was deflected, don't you?
I think so, but because we don't even see it on that replay. But I think it was deflected.
But it wound up in the corner for 3, so
That's
everything
right.
turned out all right.
That's all that counts if you're a Providence fan.
And it's not how you draw it up; it's when it goes in the hole.
You got that right.
Jamie Dixon's club out and rolling.
Well, they are, and now the question is there enough time? It really depends on how Pittsburgh plays. If Pittsburgh, for example, shoots quick, then Providence has got a chance. Look, I'm looking for Pitt right now to maybe use a lot more time and run their sets and really try to go inside.
Sam Young will handle the inbounds pass, finds Benjamin. Keith, a senior out of Mount Vernon, New York.
It's box time usually. Well, we'll see.
Blair is outside. Biggs thought about it, but no. Now Benjamin backs away. Shot clock inside 10. DeJuan Blair against Hall. Little dump down pass. No finish. Hall has the rebound. Biggs could not finish off the feed that time. And here's McKenzie.
You know he wants to shoot it.
McDermott on a drive. McKenzie from the foul line. An air ball out of bounds. Touched last, I think, by Pitt. Don't see too many air balls from the foul line, do you?
No, you don't. No, you don't. That's when sometimes you're just in the middle. You don't know whether or not you're going to pass or you're going to shoot it. Fans are having some fun over here with Jimmy Burr. Something coaches can't do.
And a foul on the way up. That is foul number 2 on DeJuan Blair. Going to send the big man Ray Hall to the line. Panthers in front. 6:46 is our score. Let's take a look now at our big stop of the game. It's brought to you by Cooper Tires. Don't give up a thing. And the Panthers did not give up anything on this exchange.
No, they did not. And of course, the big guy makes the outlet pass, and here they come in that open floor.
The turnovers have really been a factor as far as the Friars are concerned.
Well, once again, not the prettiest finish, but a finish nevertheless.
20-point lead. Hall to the line. He's not a real good foul shooter. He's 2 of 12.
I was going to say it's usually an adventure when he goes to the line. You don't know what's going to happen. Not a bad looking stroke.
No, it looked
though.
good. Got a little too much iron and found its way out.
Sometimes when you're that big and you're that strong, instead of shooting from 15 feet, you sometimes might want to move back a foot, seriously.
Yeah. Xavier on a drive. Feeds Hall, and he can't finish from inside. Blair to Benjamin. Panthers have numbers. Biggs now backs away. 7:40 remaining in the game. It's been all Pitt here in the second half. First half was terrific both ways. 5-point difference.
It really was. And, it could have even been closer than that. This half has been all Pitt. It's mainly because Pitt has really turned up the defense, and Providence has settled for quick threes too many times.
Wanamaker to Blair. And a blocking foul underneath. I think that might be number 4 if that is on McDermott. That is number 4. It's a big body to get in front of, isn't it?
It is. It really is. And when you put your body out there, you want to get that call. That could have gone the other way as well.
2 shots coming up for Blair. That was not a good stroke.
No, looked like he was watching Mr. Hall a little bit.
Kind of sidearm that one up there. Brooks is back to the bench is Charles Birch. They do go deep. We've seen about 10 guys. That one rolls home. So he makes 1 out of 2, gives him a dozen. 3 Panther players in double figures. They've got the lead here at home. Glad to have you with us. Our Big East basketball telecast from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Along with Mike Jarvis, I'm John Sanders. It's always a pleasure to work with Coach Jarvis, especially now that he's a Hall of Famer. I don't know too many Hall of Famers.
Well, neither do I, so that makes two of us.
Xavier starts to move. McDermott not driving as much in the second half as he did in the first half.
No, not at all. And of course he'll drive even less now with the 4 fouls.
Xavier for 3, and he finally hits the bucket. It's been a big dry spell for him. He's got 14 points. That is his 4th three-pointer, but it had been a long time between threes.
Yeah, he had the first 9, I think, in the first minute and a half of the game.
And he scored the first 6.
And they really needed him to have a huge night to have a chance against this Pitt team.
Well, it looked like he was going to, and then he kind of went away, and he missed his next 5 shots. Sam Young has been very effective. He'll give it up to Wanamaker. Now Benjamin. Shot clock at 10. And that doesn't bother them. Blair with it against Hankey.
Travel. Easy call for the referee.
That was made by Joe Lindsay, made that call.
Joe Lindsay. Well, when they make a good call, you can say their name. If they make a bad call, do not mention their name, all right?
Well, for Xavier, he went almost 30 minutes of basketball between points. Wow. That's a drought.
It is, and you also got to give Ramon a lot of credit because he was on him, and he's still on him like, you know, white on rice, as they say.
Williams outside. Inside 6 minutes to go. Brooks against Young. Almost lost it. Gets it back. Shot clock at 10. Williams, the shot clock hits 4, hits 3. That's his first three-pointer.
You know, I almost believe they should have like maybe multiple lines. So when you shoot the ball from 25 feet, you get a 4-point shot.
You know, sometimes when you're playing in a pro arena, too, you get the double lines, and you'll find a lot of the kids will be shooting NBA threes.
Oh, you bet your life. And they know exactly where they are, too. Well, here's that patience by Pitt, and then they'll try to get a mismatch, and usually it'll end up with somebody close to the basket.
Here's Young, close to the basket. No basket. The foul goes on Xavier. Let's take a look now at our game-changing performance. It's brought to you by Pontiac, and it's come here in the second half. Part of the rush by the Panthers has been Ronald Ramon.
Well, you know what? Deservedly so. This guy, I tell you what, he's changed positions, and the one thing he continues to do is knock down open threes.
Blair gives it back to him. Acrobatic attempt there. And Brown saves it. Here's Benjamin with a little runner, and he nails it. He likes that.
He loves that shot, and that shot likes him.
10 points for him. 69-52 Pittsburgh. Less than 5 to play. 4 Panthers are in double figures, and Tim Welch is going to spend another timeout. Not much he can do at this point. He's running out of clock time.
He is. He's running out of time, and eventually the zeros appear. And once again, this floater by Benjamin, I mean, it's a shot that obviously he practices a lot, and he's really perfected it. It's a great shot for a little guy.
Alex Kellogg is checking back into the lineup. Played briefly in the first half. He has played in 20 games and scored 17 points in his freshman year. And there's one of my old broadcast partners right there, Clark Kellogg. Back in the early days of Big East television, yes. Clark and I did a lot of games together. Good man.
He is, and he was one heck of a player as well before his knees decided they didn't want to play basketball anymore.
Well, I think that happens eventually, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? And the thing is, though, he will tell you, he would say, you know, I was a great jumper. He really wasn't a great jumper, but anyhow, his knees didn't know that.
He's a good man, though.
He is a
really
great
like
guy.
him a lot.
And a good, and like you said, he's a good man, a good person. Does a lot of good things for a lot of people.
Friars with the ball. This is Kellogg. Brooks steps to the foul line, spins, shoots, scores.
Well, John, in a game like this, okay, it's not likely. It's not impossible, but it's not likely that Providence is going to win. So, but what Providence wants to do is play well, closing this game out, so that can carry over to the next game. Of course, that applies to Pitt also. They've got huge, huge games coming up.
Yes, they do.
And
as it starts at Marquette on the 15th for the Panthers. That'll be Friday. 21st, they play at Notre Dame. That's not going to be easy. Then they've got Louisville and Cincinnati here.
Right.
So the finish of the month of February is not a cakewalk by any stretch.
No, it isn't. And Providence, on the other hand, you know, they've got the heavyweights coming up themselves, and it's a great opportunity. I mean, it's a great challenge, but a great opportunity. And, of course, Providence is playing to get to New York, whereas Pittsburgh is playing to get one of the top 4 seeds so they can get a bye.
Brooks for 3. I mean, that's a long 3 right there. And Brooks with 13 points. He has had a career game off the bench.
Well, good-looking young player as well.
You look at what's coming up for the Friars. They'll take on Louisville and Georgetown at home before they go to West Virginia toward the end of the month. Short jumper is too strong. Well, he said he did not touch him. I heard him tell Jim Burr I didn't touch him, but that's going to be number 5 on Jeff McDermott. He is fouled out of the ball game.
Healthcare Select Sector Spider. Visit us on the web at sectorspdrs.com or call 1-800-THE-AMEX now.
Winter, a season for change. Not in the game, but in the game plan. A choice to join together and take charge of the moment. To play with intensity, with abandon, with courage, so that the evolution becomes a revolution and a team becomes a champion. The NCAA Winter Championships on ESPN, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Can't have Valentine's Day without chocolate. Chocolate makes you feel good. It's a real girl thing. Women love chocolate. They just go together. I'm in heaven.
Don't give her just any chocolates. Give her Russell Stover chocolates with the famous Russell Stover bow.
We know you like style. We know you like performance. We thought you'd like fuel economy and a great warranty as well. With the Pontiac G6 sedan, you get 30 EPA estimated highway miles per gallon and more horsepower than Camry and a 100,000-mile 5-year powertrain limited warranty. The new Pontiac, designed for action.
In 1951, the greatest college football team you've never heard of took a stand against racism you'll never forget. A special documentary event, Friday on FSN.
Tonight's Big East game has been brought to you by Pontiac, official performance machines of the NCAA. Select Sector Spiders. Start weaving a stronger portfolio today. Visit us on the web at sectorspdrs.com or call 1-800-THE-AMEX. By Champion, it's how you play. And by Advance Auto Parts, keep the wheels turning. Well, the wheels have been turning for the Panthers in the second half, and they'll turn no more tonight for Jeff McDermott. He has just fouled out of the ball game, although he protested rather strongly against James Burr.
And as you watch this, you can see why. I mean, what he says to the referee is, what foul? If anything, it's a hook on the big guy. I agree with him. No foul.
But it was number 5. And so
but it was. He's still on the bench.
That doesn't matter, yeah.
That's right.
(74-57) our score. Kellogg off the glass and good.
That makes Daddy proud.
Yes, sir. And I hope to get a chance to say hello to my old friend after this game is over. I didn't know he was going to be here, to tell you the truth. But what proud father wouldn't come to see his son play?
Hey, listen, if you can, that's the one thing. Makes life worth living to be able to see your kids perform in something as positive and uplifting as this game.
The foul is on Efajuco, who has just checked into the lineup. Oh, no, I'm sorry, it was on McKenzie. And that's interesting because Wayme Efajuco has not played in this game.
Yes.
And he was the guy at the foul line. when he had a chance to tie with a tenth of a second left in the game at St. John's the other day.
You know, I'm sure that had nothing to do with him not playing. It probably, the part of the thing that happened was, it's probably how he reacted even for himself, you know, that probably put him on the bench. He might have got down on himself a little bit too much.
Third foul on Blair. That'll put Peterson at the line for the first time tonight. He has not scored in the game. He'll get a couple chances here to slice into that lead. But as we talked about, the clock is the factor as far as the Friars are concerned.
It is. It's their worst enemy, but what you want to do now is you want to close out so that you are mentally ready for your next game.
Peterson misses both. Blair has the rebound.
Because I'm going to tell you, I think it's going to go down to the last game of the season to determine the 12th team that's going to New York.
And of course, that'll all change next year.
Finally, and rightfully so.
Everybody will go. And you say, well, okay, for some of the people in the mid-range, that's hard because they have to play an extra game. Beautiful move by Sam Young. He's putting on a clinic here. But I think that extra game might turn out to help you get to play in the tournament.
Well, once again, it's fair. I mean, you know, you play all year, and some teams with injuries and illness are not really hitting their stride until the very, very end. So, you know, you want to give everybody a chance, and that's what that does if you're going to have the tournament.
Brown picks up foul number 3. Panthers leading 78-59. They have been up by as many as 23. Final is in. Purdue over Michigan State, 60-54. And Butler in overtime knocks off University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee.
Well, the Purdue team is proving that they are for real, and you know, they'll probably move up a few notches in the national standings as well.
Wanamaker in, Brown to the bench for Pittsburgh. Brooks has had a career high 15 points tonight. Coming in, his previous career high for the freshman was 7.
John, let me ask you a question. You've seen this Pittsburgh team play a lot. You got Levance Fields coming back potentially against Marquette. What do you think, you know, this team is going to be like as a result of him having been out for as long as he has been?
And the turnover by the Panthers, and they almost got it back. Kellogg underneath for his second basket. I think they're going to be better with him. I think my concern would be that he's not basketball tested because he hasn't played in so long. And believe you me, you can practice is one thing, but playing games is another.
Oh, there's no doubt. Now, Benjamin can continue to just play, you know, like not worrying about scoring, not worrying about minutes. I agree with you. I think it's going to be a better team. And then they have Ramon back at the position that he is most comfortable with. This has just made him a more complete, better basketball player.
Brooks, short. Rebound won't go. A great effort, though, by McKenzie. But he cut the bottom part of the backboard and never got it to the rim. We're heading to the final minute of this Big East basketball matchup. Panthers trying to go to 14-1 at home this year and 19-5 overall. It'll be Jamie Dixon getting some of the subs into the lineup as Tim Fry and Maurice Poland now will check in. And you know, I was taking no chances. I added Levance Fields to my scorecard just in case
I saw that
he was going to come on. Here's the schedule we talked about. They'll be at Marquette and then at Notre Dame. Those are 2 very tough games. Then they come back with 2 more tough ones. Remember, Cincinnati was tough on them in Cincinnati. And they have to play at Syracuse, and West Virginia is going to be a dogfight.
Well, anytime you see at before a game, you know it's going to be tough.
We're in the final minute. Panthers leading by 17. Well, they always want the subs, the last guy off the bench, to shoot as soon as he gets on the court. McGee fights it up, missed them both. Third time's the charm.
He's getting better.
Well, again, with a thin squad, they've really only got 9 players. They'll have 10 when Levance comes back, but they are, he's getting more minutes because there's more opportunity to play. What a shot. What an attempt. It goes out of bounds. And it's going to belong to Pittsburgh.
Well, there wasn't much else he could do on that one. Well, it looks like the Pitt Panthers get another home Peterson victory, huh?
Well, they're so good in this building. 94-9 all time in 6 seasons in this building. Fry is not going to shoot, even if they want him to.
No, and that's the right thing.
And that'll do it.
Don't want to embarrass the other team.
82-63 will be the final. A big night for Sam Young. He had 22. DeJuan Blair with 13. Ronald Ramon hit 5 3-pointers. He finishes with 15. Keith Benjamin, the other Panther, in double figures with 10. Xavier had 14. Most of them came early. Second half belonged to Pittsburgh. We'll be back right after this.
Own a timeshare, turn it into cash.
Timeshares only got us our full asking price before our next monthly payment was due.
Own a campground membership, turn it into cash.
Timeshares only sold our campground membership fast and for the price we wanted.
Call now and we'll send you absolutely free this information kit, including 10 secrets to buying, selling, and renting timeshares. Timeshares Only is the nation's largest, #1 most successful timeshare agency.
We represent properties from the biggest names in the timeshare industry.
When it comes to selling, renting, or buying timeshares, no one comes close to Timeshares Only.
With over $2 billion of timeshares sold in the last 6 months, now's the perfect time to sell, rent, or buy. And no one sells more timeshares than we do.
You owe it to yourself to work with the best. Timeshares Only, the most trusted name in timeshares.
Call 800-464-3216 to sell, rent, or buy your timeshare and get your free information kit. Don't delay. Call 800-464-3216.
Now the Panthers win it in decisive fashion with a great second half. 82-63 is the final score. They came out on a quick 21-4 run in the second half, scored 40 points, and put it away. Jamie Dixon joins us. Jamie, your team shot 59% for the night. I thought offensively this was a pretty good performance.
It was obviously shoot 59% from the start too. I thought we were very good offensively, and our defense got better in the second half especially. So very good sharing the ball. I thought I don't know what our assist numbers were. We had to have a high assist total, but I thought we really shared it, found the open man, and it got better as the game went on. So that was good to see.
Jamie, you got Marquette coming up. Was it difficult getting these guys to really concentrate on tonight's game?
I don't know. I mean, I thought we had a good practice yesterday, and we had Levant's practice yesterday, so it was it brought some energy to us as well. I think we had to deal more with if Levant was playing and all that talk about that. That's more we've dealt with. These are the guys we've got. We've got 8 guys that are healthy and able to play, and those are the guys that are getting after it. But I thought our defense got better in the second half. Our 4 freshmen played very well. Gary McGee, Bradley Wanamaker played good, but I think we really, we understand we're getting better. We're young, and we've got to take every opportunity to get better. So I don't think we're even thinking about Marquette.
Let me ask you one thing about Levant before we get off that subject. He told me before the game that he's going to play on Friday.
Well, I mean, you know better than me then, I guess.
Well, that's what he told me.
Yeah, he told me. I've just played it day by day since he's gotten back and started doing some stuff. That's the best way to handle it. So I talked to him this morning, and he said he didn't feel he could go, and that was the decision. So we feel fine about whereas our other guys played great, and I want to focus on those guys, those 8 guys who played very well. I thought Ronald was as good again as always, and so we just got to continue improving. Again, with these 4 freshmen, I just felt that this team can continue to improve, and it's hard to play without a point guard. Providence has done it all year. I mean, it's not easy, but we got Ronald Ramon and we got Keith Benjamin, so we're very fortunate.
Well, they have done a great job, and I'm sure that when those 2 guys come back and Ramon gets back to his natural position, Pitt's even better.
Well, I don't know. We got to get better. It's not just going to happen. And if it was that easy, everybody would hold each guy out for a couple months and then figure it out. But we've got to get better. But I thought we got better defensively in the second half. I thought we learned some things in the first half from our mistakes that we made and gave them some shots. They hit some shots. They're a very good shooting team, best 3-point shooting team in the conference. So we learned from our mistakes and got better.
Well, of course, you did a much better job on Xavier in the second half. He got off to a hot start.
Yeah.
But then he did nothing after that, and you got to give the credit to Ronald.
Ronald did a good job on him, and he's they got 3 guys you have to worry about shooting the 3, and Xavier and Williams and McKenzie. So you got to guard all 3 of them, and that's the challenge. So we got better and figured that out, and we had great performances from really all 8 guys that got to get in there.
Let's take a look at some of the big plays from the game. You can watch that camera right over there, and everybody contributed early on too.
Yeah, I thought we spread the ball around really well. I thought it was something that we really emphasized the last couple of days, and And our strength has been our passing and finding open guys, and it hasn't been as good as it should be, I think. But today it was very good. I thought we made some very good decisions, and this is a good decision by Keith on the jump stop and finding the rim. And so we've got to make better decisions in transition. That's something we've really been emphasizing.
All right, thank you, Coach, very much.
Thank you, Coach.
As always, pleasure to see you. See you down the road. We're going to take a break. We've got more coming up from the Peterson Event Center right after this.
The market goes up. You make money. The market goes down. You make money. It's good to be a Barron's reader. Barron's. See what others don't. No one looks at the market with a more insightful eye than Barron's, offering timely coverage of stocks, bonds, mutual funds, everything the independent investor needs to stay informed. Subscribe now and you'll also receive Barron's Online with its daily columns, in-depth market analysis, and powerful tools like the Stock Screener and the Stock Grader. Get 13 weeks of Barron's and Barron's Online, all for only $39.
Call now, toll-free, 800-334-6600. That's 800-334-6600.
If it's your desire to become a chef, you can do it. If it's your dream to own your own restaurant, you can make it happen. Call an affiliate of Le Cordon Bleu Schools North America to discover how. Le Cordon Bleu affiliated schools have many successful graduates working right now as culinary professionals. You can be next, and you don't even have to know how to cook to get started. Bring your passion to learn. Call now for a complimentary CD-ROM.
Call 800-980-0248. That's 800-980-0248. Call now.
Welcome back once again to the Peterson Event Center. 82-63 is our final. The Panthers at one point built a 23-point lead. They had a great second half of play, and Sam Young joins us now. His numbers are terrific, Sam. 10 of 14. He had 7 rebounds. He had a couple of assists. Just a very solid game. You seem to be really playing in good rhythm here tonight.
Yeah, I tried to come into the game trying to shoot a good percentage, first getting some easy buckets, and then I know my mid-range short jumper will come for me.
I thought it did, too. You looked smooth with it. Like you got it, you turned, you shot, and you knew what you were doing.
Yeah. I thought if I brought a spark the team a feed off it, and maybe we can get an early lead.
When you go into a game like this, or any game, I mean, what's the first thing that Sam Young is thinking about when he goes into a game?
Like the coach say, the first 5 minutes. I feel like if we can get off to a great start the first 5 minutes, it's going to be hard to compete with us. If that energy there, if that determination is there the first 5 minutes and we can get into a rhythm, it's going to be hard to compete with us the whole game.
You know, they were shooting very well. They were right with you in the first half. First half was pretty well contested, a lot of lead changes. But something happened in the second half, and you guys really took charge.
Yeah, definitely. We had the intensity, but they had some momentum on their side, too. And they were hitting some tough shots, and we came out in the second half. We noticed that we didn't head some ball screens. We didn't switch some screens and some handoffs and stuff like that. So we came out in the second half, and we executed our defense as told.
Let's take a look at some of the plays for you tonight. You had a big game. You get to watch the highlights early on here. You worked inside a lot. You only attempted 1 3-pointer tonight.
Yeah.
But you know what? Look at that ball handling, huh? Now, you know what? When I watch you play, it almost looks like you're you're almost just as happy when you make a great pass. Talk a little bit about that, about your passing.
My coach was telling me that I bring a lot of attention, and if possible, I can be a great passer if I just find some players. I mean, I'm going to draw attention. I'm going to draw double teams. So why not find an open guy? And if I can get somebody else a great shot, then why not?
Okay. Well, you made one really good pass to DeJuan Blair in that game. I think you remember that one, a little dump down inside, and he was all alone.
Yeah.
You like that, huh?
Definitely. I mean, especially when I can get him motivated, when I can get him hype, I know it's going to be a tough night for the opponents.
Well, it looks to me like he never has a bad time on the court. He's always having fun.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And you are too, obviously.
Definitely. What can I say? I mean, we came out today. We had a long talk, and we've been on some ups and downs, and we finally got 2. two big wins for us, and now I think this is going to be our stepping stone to bigger things.
Great opportunities coming up. There's no doubt about it.
Sam Young, a terrific job in the game. Thanks for being with us on the postgame. We appreciate it. Good luck.
Thank you.
On your trip to Marquette. You get Levance Fields back maybe, huh?
Yeah, definitely. Nice. We need them.
Continued success, okay?
All right, let's take a look at some of our final stats. The Panthers shot the ball, as Jamie Dixon mentioned, very well. Sam was 10 of 14 himself. In the first half, it was pretty much even. Both teams shooting in the upper 50s, but it changed in the second half, and it fell off a little bit for the Friars. They also had the turnover problem at time to time. Panthers controlled the boards. They controlled everything in the second half.
Well, they really did. And when you look at the assist-to-turnover margin, you look at 22 assists to 8 turnovers. That's a plus 14. There aren't many basketball games you're not going to win when you do that.
Very impressive. Let's see what's ahead. We know about the game on Friday. It'll be at Marquette, and they've also got that trip to Notre Dame. Back here for a huge game on Sunday the 24th against Louisville, and in Cincinnati on the 27th. They'll play at Syracuse, at West Virginia. So there's more to be done as far as the Panthers are concerned, but they win it tonight in strong fashion. A great second half. They scored 40 points in the second half, 42 in the first half, and they wound up with 82 points. They win it 82-63. Terrific job by our entire crew here at the Peterson Event Center. It's always a pleasure to work with now Hall of Famer Mike Jarvis, and I look forward to seeing you down the road.
Well, I hope we see each other a lot more, and it's great working with you, and it's great being in Pittsburgh.
Absolutely. 22 for Young, 13 for Blair, 15 for Ramon, 10 for Benjamin. Once again, our final score, the Panthers of Pittsburgh 82, the Friars of Providence 63. For our color analyst, Mike Jarvis, and the entire crew here, I'm John Sanders. For more information on ESPN Plus, log on to ESPN-Plus.com. Preceding an exclusive presentation of ESPN Regional Television, worldwide leader in collegiate sports.